Le Bois Theatre Company and David Berthold, the artistic director, is somebody I admire very much. We were looking for a new show, and David came up with the idea of doing The Wizard of Oz, and of course we all just really believe there's The Wizard of Oz is just from the movie, but of course it's a whole series of books. So we're exploring through all the other books about the Wizard of Oz and to bring it to life in a new theatrical form.
I was in conversation with David Berthold, the artistic director of Le Bois, about how the Danger Ensemble might work within a main stage capacity. The Danger Ensemble do work quite different to what one would expect to see at a main stage, or one has previously expected to see on the main stages at Le Bois. David and I thought it would be really exciting to frame it as a challenge, that Le Bois would issue us a work that we would not normally take on or would not be expected for us to take on. And David sent me a text one night going, "What about The Wizard of Oz?" And I basically froze in terror. That fear made me go, yeah, that's what we should do.
So smile through the sawtooth.
Yeah.
And then drop it for full body.
Yeah.
Back into smile, and then in your slow walk, start with your smile and let it fade into position.
When I first started working on The Wizard of Oz, my response was to think a lot about how I could work with the collective, because it wasn't just a writer coming on board and having their own vision and trying to do all the work themselves and find an answer to it. It was very much, let's work together as a group in the rehearsal room and think about how we can collectively come up with an idea that we're all interested in exploring.
That's been the biggest challenge, is going, how do we tell a version of this story, or how do we react to this story in a way that people don't already know? There's no point in us trying to replicate the film or the musical or the novel. People have their experience of that, they have their memory of that, and they have what that means to them. And if people come into this show expecting a replica of that, they're going to be grossly shocked.
We've kept the yellow brick road, we still have that. It's still very much about a journey along the yellow brick road. What people might find surprising in this one is how it sort of fractures apart that idea of a fairy tale, and looking very much at the collision between fantasy and reality. Can you live comfortably in a fantasy world, and what are you sacrificing in order to stay in the fantasy world?
I think a lot's changed since The Wizard of Oz first came out. When the film came out, we had just gone through a world war. We're coming out of a Great Depression. I think people really did want to escape to a place far away and over there. I think the world's gotten smaller with travel and technology. I'm not sure that a modern audience or a contemporary generation want to escape over there anymore. I think they actually want to make this world fantastical. As we put it on the floor, that's becoming more and more important to the work.
Our version of The Wizard of Oz still takes the idea of somebody searching for a place to belong, except this time our character is a woman called Judy G.
They call my name Judy.
Judy.
Hear their applause, it's as loud as the wind. They love me.
The protagonist is Judy G. We meet her living in a caravan in what feels like a caravan park, and there's a storm building, and she's hoping it will pick her up and take her to Oz. And there's a desperation to that, and there's a need for her to go there.
And so she's trying to get over the rainbow. This is a journey for an older woman who's trying to find a place of belonging and to be able to live in a fantasy land, except that it all comes crumbling apart towards the end.
She expects to be Dorothy when she lands, when in fact she is Toto. And madness ensues from there.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
No. Oh, yes.
We must be over the rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow, Toto.
Toto? You think I'm Toto?
Hey, Toto.
I'm not Toto.
We still have Dorothy, we still have all the characters that people know and love. We have the witch, but the witch is given new relevance in this as well as sort of the voice of negative thoughts that this woman is finding and having to battle in order to stay in her fantasy land.
We are children, following the light of your fading stars, over some goddamn rainbow somewhere we cannot see.
So it's definitely going to be full of some surprises, but I think we've kept enough elements in there that will make people love it all over again.